Hello YouTube, Joey here again, and today I got another uncut analysis for you guys. So this time we were playing Exodia. I will just jump into the first replay. So what happened is I was playing stun and I had like the last 20 games I went 18 times second, I think. So I dropped all the way back eventually. It was unholdable. And I decided to mess around for a bit until I picked up Exodia. Now we have a little bit of luck because if he ashed my shield I would have been in trouble, even though Soul Drain is a great card. And this is pretty much a setup I really like. All I need is my basic Exodia setup with a Soul Drain. With this I can go far. It's a little bit harder against Brazil, but I can go farther. Now my opponent is playing, this is again Dark World, so that revolves a lot about recycling cards, banishing cards, so yeah. I thought I could stop the combo, which I couldn't, but he will eventually realize whatever he's trying to do is not going to work. Now, before you tag along here, I want to save you some time and spoil that after losing 18 out of 20 coin tosses, I won these 7 all in a row. So they're all going first. If you're looking for going second tips or board breaks, whatever, this will not be that video. Now, we do have a fantastic hand according to a backup plan, so to speak. Unfortunately, we have to rely on the backup plan because we get ashed. So there's nothing else here. We set all the cards. I figured, so we have to decide here, right? If I decide to keep my super poly, there might be a chance I won't get to use it. And I'd rather have the Azarun and Tikaboo on the field. So we summon Azarun right away. And it turns out to be a good call because it's Malice. And I must admit, I made this decision based on the chance that Malice is like 50% in the current meta. We get ashed again, but now we do have a card in hand if we need to use the super poly, so that's a good thing. We just sit it out. It's a Nightmare Phoenix. It wants to pop my Tikaboo, so here I use Azarun. Can get into some place here, but he will still be locked behind that Tikaboo. He's really trying, but there's no coming out of there, and he's starting to realize. So that's 2 games, 1 here. Jump into the third, who also is using an Exodia picture. So I was thinking, if it's all going first and is it really that special, but I think a win streak of 7 is always great. Let me know in the comments if you think this is a waste of your time or if you really want to see more of this. Hold on, something important happened here. So it's important to start with the temple instead of the Sengenjin, obviously. Now what I could have done is summon the golem first to scout for an ash, which I didn't. That was a little bit blunt, but it all turned out the way it has to. So now they probably wouldn't have ashed my golem anyway, but at least I could have seen if they had one. Anyway, it all worked out. In the end, I have my favorite setup, Exodia with a Soul Drain in the back. I never went into Silhouette Rabbit this turn. Now here is the Samurai, and there's my new card. I'm playing Drawl and Lockbird now. So if you look at my latest Exodia list, I will show you the deck list in the end, by the way, don't worry. But if you're using my latest Exodia list, just take out the Full Loss, put in Drawl and Lockbird. It's not bad at the moment. So it's another opportunity to go second. Here we have to bank on not getting ashed again, which we fortunately don't. Also no Droll on the ad, so we get again my favorite setup, Exodia with a Soul Drain. I know it looks like I'm blessed here, but I promise I came off a worst streak ever. I can't believe I actually still play. Now here I decide to negate it because I was afraid he was going to grab exactly that dinosaur, which makes everything unaffected, which will happen later, but we'll just let it play out for a little bit. Doesn't really matter when I use this, he had another one anyway, so they're all unaffected. But also Exodia cannot be destroyed by monster effect. Well, it can't be destroyed at all actually. So what he's trying to do is blow up my field, which he can, but unfortunately not with Exodia here. And the Soul Drain also doesn't help, as his cards can trigger from the graveyard. Which one was it? Was it Leo? Hold on, I have to check. I know it's uncut. I might mess up. I might stutter. I might misspeak. But it allows me to produce this content a little bit quicker. Here we go again. This is game number 5. And we draw a good hand. So we have two options here. We always start with the heart of the blue eyes, because it's free. Then we get draw. Okay, that's fine. We just go into Exodia. Not even gonna bother using my shield. And I have Exodia with an Imperm and an Ash. So that is great. Imperm, great card going first and second. Here, I blow up the field immediately because I was afraid he might have a monster in hand that could special summon itself to that. So he really wants it on the field anyway, but I figured it was just to negate my Exodia. So that's all good. It doesn't really work out for him anyway. I guess he had nothing left after that. I also had an Ash Blossom. I still had an Imperm. That was great. That was great. Moving on. So again, it's not the best board breaks in the world, but I warned you. We do get to see some setups though. So here we have another hand. Always give yourself multiple options. So I'm going to use the temple to set the shield and then make sure that I can have a Sangenjin. So I always have two options. Now I get ashed. If I would have used shield first, it would have been hard. I had to put my leg on the field to get that Sangenjin. Now, Exodia with a Tikaboo. Also a very strong combo. Here, I negate the Imperm. Sometimes I let it go. It's when I'm afraid of Triple Tactics Talent. I think it happens in the next. So knowing Mimicule a little bit, he wants to search for a starter. If this is the card he opens, he might not have a starter. So I blow it up instantly and he has no starter. Because Tikaboo would have been completely dead against him. It was all different monsters. It's a dragon, it's a fiend, it's a warrior, it's all that stuff. So, last duel. Again going first, but I warned you. This is a great way to cover 7 duels in 10 minutes. Alright, we draw the Droll and Lockbird again. So I know a lot of you are going to say it's dead when it's not against Ryzeal, but first, it does stop Ryzeal, and second, this deck doesn't normal summon. So let's say this was my board, right? I can normal summon that Droll and Lockbird and go into an untargetable Blacklusted Soldier. For example, I could make Moon of the Closed Heaven and link them off into a goddess. So there's more uses for that card. Here I go for a bigger setup. I do get the Silhouette Rabbit. So I have as a rune, I have my field wipe. Unfortunately, no floodgates this time. Here you can see the example. So I negate that and I do get Triple Tactics Talent on my ass, which is... It's always a risk if you let Exodia not get impermed. It cannot be destroyed by battle. You could also protect it with the field wipe, but sometimes you need it earlier. Here I'm lucky that my opponent has to go all the way through the combo line, so I can actually draw here. So I was thinking I was okay and he had nothing to do with my Exodia, but he could go into a Typhon. But it's all fine because I have that second Ankh in my hand. I draw a leg, but I don't need anything else here. I can just summon Exodia, wipe Typhon, and go for one shot kill. So yes, that is the win streak 7 of Exodia. I will go over the deck list real quick. So not much is new. I took out the Fuwas, I added to Draw and Lockbird. Rest is still the same. Still really like Anti-Spell Fragrance. Still like Tikaboo. I'm still on 3 Soul Drain. I like Imperm and Super Poly a lot in this deck as they're great, going first and second. No Fuwa, so I'm just stuck with Max C, so not much chance of drawing Exodia. I guess that's why I had it. And yes, everything in the extra deck is important. Hope you guys like this video. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you think this is a waste of time, if you still really like this, if you want to see more, that also helps me a lot. I will produce more content for you guys if you want to. Have a great weekend and see you guys next time. Bye guys.